So this morning I was preaching about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and talking about how you can't bow down, right? And everybody knows the story, but one of the interesting things that stood out to me is when King Nebuchadnezzar called that meeting and he brought the people together, it was like he brought the influencers, okay? He brought all the important people, the people who had a say, and they came up with this law. They came up with something that they thought was right in their eyes, and they said, we're going to get everybody to bow down to this. And what was even crazy was some of the people that met with the king, they didn't care about worshiping no idol of the king. They were using the king to get at the people that they were jealous of, that they didn't like. That's why they came to the king all slick, like, hey man, you know, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you know, they're not bowing down to that statue of you. They're not worshiping you. They were gassing his head up using flattery, because that's what manipulators do. It's some people that'll try to get close to your wife, your husband, the pastor, your kids, your friends, just to assassinate you, assassinate your dream, or kill what you got going on. They'll use gossip. They'll use all kinds of tactics. And that's what those guys did. And here's the thing. Even today, this is happening. The influencers, Hollywood, the music industry, and all these different people, they come together and they say, this is the way to go. This is the way to move. And you know what? If people don't bow down to it, we're going to cancel them. Cancel culture, right? If people don't bow down to it, we're going to throw them in the fire. We're going to get them in trouble on their job. And a lot of people are running around trying to push their golden statue above everybody else. I want people to bow down to the golden statue of my feelings, or the golden statue of my movement, or the golden statue of what I had in mind. And if you don't bow down, we got a problem. If you don't bow down, we're going to throw you in the fire. Now, here's the other crazy thing that stood out to me, is that this whole time, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are like, you know what, we're not going to bow down. God could have showed up right there and stopped everything. He could have showed himself to Nebuchadnezzar. He could have killed the strong man that tried to bind him. Now, notice this. He sent his strong man to bind them. The devil been sending some of his strongest demons at some of you, and you wondering, why is this going on? Why is this happening? Why am I having this kind of attack against my mind? Because the devil says, man, I gotta stop this guy. I gotta stop this girl. But then when they try to throw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire, the thing that they created to destroy Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego ended up destroying them. And that's the goodness of God. He will use what the enemy tried to destroy you with to take you to the next level. He will use it to destroy them. Matter of fact, it says that they were bound and thrown in the fire. But then what happened? Nebuchadnezzar said they're walking around, they're loose. Sometimes God got to put you in the fire to set you free from some things, because only in the fire will it get exposed. Only in the fire will it be revealed. So you sitting there saying, man, why I got to go through this? Why I got to go through that? And God's saying, look, I wanted you to go through it because it was going to reveal some things. Through the fire to be on fire. He said, count it not strange when you go through the fiery trial. You're going to come out on the other side as pure gold. So he could have revealed himself at any time, but he said, I'm going to reveal myself to everyone once they get thrown in the fire. So some of you are sitting there, man, I've been praying. I've been worried about this. I don't see God, you know, what's going on. And he was always there. He just chose to reveal himself when they were thrown in the fire. He was there when Nebuchadnezzar was making the plan. He was there when Nebuchadnezzar threatened them. He was there that whole time. He didn't just show up once they were in the fire. He was there. He just chose to reveal himself. Sometimes God will stay silent until it's the right time, until that process is completed. Sometimes he'll allow you to go through some stuff because other people are watching, just like Nebuchadnezzar. And then it becomes a testament. He says, I'm going to show myself in this situation. Just like Jesus was on the boat with the apostles, he's there with you in the fire. He's everywhere. He says, I'm going to show myself mighty. He says, how could you know that I was a provider if you've never been broke before, or you never was in a place where you couldn't provide for yourself? How could you know that I was a mind regulator if you've never been in a situation where you was just pushed to the limit? You said, God, I can't take it anymore. So sometimes in order for God to show just who he is and how great he is, he has to allow us to go through some things. So don't be discouraged if you're going through something. Don't be discouraged if you're facing a fiery furnace. But just know this. A lot of people say they're going to stand for God, but they don't stand with God. Make sure that you're standing with God. Okay? And what do you mean by that? Prayer life, seeking his face, being in his will, being in his way. Are you in right standing with God? A lot of people say, I'll stand for God, but they don't stand with God. He's like, you're not standing with me. You're not standing in my will. You're not standing in my presence. So how are you going to stand for me? Something to think about. I love you guys. Be blessed. Be encouraged in Jesus' name.